Hello. I think it's like maybe 11. I already made a video today. And, I think it's partly eclipse season, but I'm feeling shitty. Feeling judgmental too, like of myself. Very judgmental. It's been this way during the whole eclipse season for me, which is not uncommon. But I'm not gonna like give up or anything. I'd like to express my judgments in this video about myself. Like, if you look at this picture up here, that's me. That was me not very long ago. And I know some people don't think I look that much different, but I do think I look different from that picture. And that was right about when I moved to New Mexico. Like 2.5 years ago. So when I took that. And I'm just feeling bad about my appearance physically. Particularly, like, I have a lot of acne that I've had since, like, maybe April. And then the acne I didn't have for, like, years, and then it came up this spring. And I'm having a little bit of problems with, like, my eyes. In particular, like, symmetry. So, like, this eye tends to droop a little bit more. It makes me feel bad. And it feels really shitty because, like, for me, I don't want to fixate too much on things I don't have, but it's important to acknowledge them. I've struggled with money a lot this year in particular. And it was great last year when I was in college and got financial aid, and I didn't really get any from like fall of last year until fall of this year. It's just really hard. And I know a lot of people like me for who I am, but sometimes I don't like myself, and I hold the energy of like delusion for a very long time of liking myself because it does work. But then there's times where it just sort of breaks. And there's an opportunity I have to do a skincare partnership with a brand. And I'm scared about it, and I don't want to do it because I'm afraid, and I haven't talked about this really with anyone. And I'm not doing it because, like, I'm insecure, but it just sort of came up as an opportunity, and I use, like, shit face cleanser and shit moisturizer, and nothing I really use is good quality, and this is really good quality stuff. And it's like a business marketing product. So you get money being partnered with them by getting other people to buy. And I've never done that before. So I doubt my ability to be able to get other people to buy this product. And I've never used this product, so I'm scared. But I think I'm still going to go through with it. And I don't know, it just feels like for a long time I've been like trying not to sink for like years, and it's hard. It's really hard to be an adult by yourself, and I saw something today that was like a red flag in dating is when people make your, or people you date make your business public, your dating business. And I do that. I didn't used to do that, but I did it with the last guy I dated, and it was kind of like the same thing he did. So that kind of got in my head seeing that this morning and thinking, wow, I'm doing a really shitty thing. And I made YouTube videos when I first started. And part of the reason for this is because, like, I don't have someone to talk to. And I don't have health care. The only thing I really pay for is dentist cleaning. That's why I want to leave the state I'm in, because the healthcare is so shitty. It's non-existent, actually. But I kind of have been using YouTube as like a therapist, even though it doesn't talk back to me. It's nice to just talk to somebody. And it may be really cringy, and I don't know how I feel about the videos I've made 5 years from now or whatever. I don't plan on deleting anything. But I'm very lonely a lot of the time, and I just feel, I get this feeling that I just want to leave already, but I can't because I don't have the money. But I think if I can resolve my situation with money, I can do anything. And that's really my goal. And like, I know it might be kind of a waste of time to make well, I make videos every day because it makes me happy. And it doesn't make me money, but it makes me happy, okay? And I don't know, like, there's so many things I want to talk about with a therapist, and I just don't have one. But I think scrolling on social media is not a good idea. Never a good thing. Especially if you're doing it way too much more than you're actually creating. I felt this way before in the past. I specifically remember being maybe like 22 or 23, and looking back on myself when I was like 20 and feeling like there was something gone that I'd never get back, and I got it back right there. And so there's evidence in my life that this way I feel right now, like feeling just ugly and tired and struggling and poor and horrible, is not permanent. And it's still difficult to be in it when it's happening. I'm gonna go down here. I think a lot of people feel that way, though, about themselves. Like, they feel like they're not attractive or not good enough. And maybe it's always like that. Maybe it's a feeling that comes and goes. We do it more, I think, when we see other people. But, maybe I should practice some gratitude right now, okay? Sometimes that makes you feel better. I'll do that. One thing I am grateful for, even if I feel like an ugly bitch right now, is this beautiful couch that I'm laying on. Isn't it pretty? It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm really lucky. You know what else I'm really lucky for? That plant right there. And the little cubes things behind them. I use those for my background for doing video game videos, which I'm very lucky to have. I was reading through some of my papers from right before I left Oregon. And I left, I was living with my mom there. And it was hard. It was heavy. It was dark. It was painful. It was gritty. It was ugly. And I felt like I was just enduring. And also, I got kind of like very spiritually sick right at the end. Until I moved, and it was like a collapse of being detached from my mom. Where a lot of my negative patterns come from is from my mom. And reading that was interesting yesterday. Because I was reading it and I was just looking at the things I was saying and how trapped I felt and how stuck I felt and sick I felt and how I was so ready to move. Then when I moved here, I lived in an empty apartment with nothing. For 6 months, I didn't even have a place to eat. I had a twin bed and a little desk, a little desk table. Now look at this beautiful life I've built for myself. I'm very grateful for that. I'm very proud of that. More than grateful, I'm proud of that. I'm very grateful for my hair. I think it looks really good, honestly. And I don't know about the skincare thing. I'm gonna commit to it. I have to wait for my dad to give me money for the products, so unfortunately, you know. But we're gonna move back over to this side, okay? Anyway, what are we going to talk about now? That's all I really wanted to say, I think, but let's talk a little bit more about the skincare thing. So it's a little controversial because the company itself got a lawsuit for a pyramid scheme, which is a little bit of a red flag you cannot deny. And so, like, I don't know, I think if the products are good and they work, and you could get money by recruiting other people to buy the products could be good. And at the same time, I don't know what the process is to detach. That's my big question. Like, what happens if I don't want to be a part of this anymore? What does that process look like? It's a good question. But I've been exercising a bit more. And I'm trying to focus on eating protein. And I'm trying to focus on feeding myself what I need. And making sure I'm spending money on food. And I'm trying to post every day on social medias. Do you want to know all the things that I try to do in a day? So I usually try to post on every social media. And then another thing I do is the reason I do that is because it brings me joy and it excites me. And then another thing I do is I try to sing almost every day. And I'm trying to get better at calisthenics and dancing. And improve my flexibility. And eat properly and do strength training. So a lot of physical body stuff. And then, God. I'm also trying to do, business, just doing my business things. I had a spark of inspiration yesterday, but I don't know, dude. Like, I had a couple of sparks of inspiration, okay? One was I was dancing to a song, and it felt like this is what I'm meant to do. Then another one of inspiration was someone was talking to me about my business and asked me a question, and I answered. So I'm spending $200 on this skincare thing. I don't have $200. And I spent $100 on a spiritual reading from my spiritual mentor because I felt so lost right now. And another problem I have is I don't always trust my own judgment. So, like, I don't know, things happen and I don't trust my own judgment with how to move forward. But anyways, it's about everything, I think. Let's come to some sort of conclusion here. I want to take a nap. Really do want to take a nap, actually. I think my conclusion is probably your thoughts create your reality. And it's okay to express how you feel about your physical appearance. But at the end of the day, if you feel like you're ugly, then you will be ugly. And you may have to do certain things to feel more beautiful. But that's okay. Like this. Another thing is, like, I've been looking at pictures of myself and I just look a little bit sick and tired. Like, not like that, you know? I'm sure you can see that. Is that fatigue from doing everything alone, maybe? Being alone, having no family, no body, no support, and just clawing my way like survival every fucking day? Maybe. If you're busy focused on survival, you can't really, like, look healthy and happy all the time. I deal with a lot of self-doubt, too. Like, I don't know, I was dealing with that a little bit today of, like, nobody gives a shit. I never get really more than, there's a few times where I get, like, maybe 50 likes on a post or something, but the theme of my whole life has been, like, unpopular. Just like an unpopular person. Isn't that interesting? So yeah, that's been a big thing. But I'm tired and I'm gonna take a little rest.